Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. Today, I am going to talk about sexual orientation issues in schools, how it relates to multicultural education. First, let us define what is multicultural education. Multicultural education is a progressive approach for transforming education and addressing current shortcomings, failings, and discriminatory practices in education, teaching students to value the beliefs and practices of various cultural and ethnic groups. By saying progressive approach, it means proceeding or progressing by steps or degrees. It is allowing flexibility in learning procedures based on activities determined by the needs and capacities of individual child, the aim of which is to integrate academic with social development. The purpose of multicultural education is to increase awareness and respect for all differences through multicultural education. In the 21st century, one of the primary dimensions in the diversity is the sexual or affection orientation. So we have multiple individual differences. Some of different cultural groups are in gender, in race, in religion, in socioeconomic status, in ability or disability, in ethnicity, in culture, in native language, and in sexual orientation. We have to remember that when we ask students to remove aspects of themselves to accommodate our teaching or schools, we are disabling their ability to learn and to achieve at full capacity. We must consider our students' differences. That's why sexual orientation is included. Also, multicultural education also aims to ensure equitable individual participation in all aspects of society and to enable people to maintain their own culture while participating together to live in a common society. From this example, equality versus equity. Equality versus equity in education. Equality means giving each student the same resource. While educational equity, it means that every student has access to the resources and educational rigor that they need at the right moment in their education despite race, gender, ethnicity, language, family, income, family backgrounds, or disability. So, how does sexual orientation relates to multicultural education? First, let us define what is sexual orientation. Sexual orientation, it refers to the sex or gender to which individuals are attracted to. There are several categories to which people identify themselves in, namely heterosexuality, homosexuality, bisexuality, asexuality, and even pansexual or polysexual. When we say heterosexuality, it is those are sexually attracted to people of the opposite sex, while homosexuality are a sexual attraction or the tendency to direct sexual desire toward another of the same sex. While bisexuality, it is sexually attracted to both men and women. Asexuality also means not having or showing a particular sexual identity, and pansexual, are those are those people who are attracted to all kinds of people. So according to the statistics of the LGBT or the lesbian, gay, bisexual gender, LGBT students at schools with comprehensive policies on bullying and harassment are much more likely to report harassment to school authorities. LGBT students are twice as likely to say that they were not planning on completing high school or going on to college because of the bullying. Gay teens are 8.4 times more likely to report having attempted suicide and 5.9 times more likely to report high levels of depression compared with peers from families that reported no or low level of family rejection. LGBT youth who reported higher levels of family rejection during adolescence are 3 times more likely to use illegal drugs. Nearly a fifth of students are physically assaulted because of their sexual orientation, and over a tenth because of their gender expression. About two-thirds of LGBT students reported having ever been sexually harassed, like sexual remarks made, being touched inappropriately in school in the past year. Also, the average GPA for students who were frequently physically harassed because of their sexual orientation was a half a grade lower than of the other students. Look at this picture. This is Tyler Clemente. Tyler Clemente, a 19 years old bullied by roommate who spied on personal intimate moments of Tyler's via camera. They bullied also by mean tweets making fun of Tyler. The other day, Tyler posted a Facebook status stating, "Jumping off the bridge. Sorry." So cyberbullying is contributing to the problem. He was bullied because of his sexual preferences, and this is just one of the many cases that happens to many discriminations that happens at school because of their sexual orientation. So how can we improve the sexual diversity climate in school? Of course, this allow discrimination based on sexual orientation. So the National Education Association, the American Federation of Teachers, and the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development have all passed resolutions asking their members and all of school districts to step forward to improve the educational experiences of LGBT students. These resolutions call for providing a safe environment, support groups, and counseling options for LGBT students, and by employing anti harassment rules and practices. What can we do? First is to listen. Listen, like other students, they also need to feel comfortable expressing themselves for them not to feel unwanted in the school or inside the classroom. Another is to respect confidentiality. Of course, respect privacy. Talking behind their back can create an unsafe environment for the student. Regardless of your differences in affection orientation, always respect privacy. Respect begets respect. Another one is to be conscious of your biases. Of course, acknowledge how homophobia or the fear of discrimination against homosexuality, transphobia, and and heterosexism may affect them. When we say uh, transphobia, it is dislike of or prejudice against transsexual or transgender people. Heterosexism means discrimination of prejudice against gay people on the assumption that heterosexuality is the normal sexual orientation. Of course, we have to be conscious of our own biases. Also, always teach respect. The multicultural education have a responsibility to teach students respect for self and others, and how to create relationships with a wide range of people, and also how to work toward eliminating prejudice and discrimination. To achieve culturally responsive teaching, you need to balance academic standards and relevance to student lives. The second part of the report will be done by Miss Darlene. So that would be all, and thank you.